This is Johnny Nelson, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so Michael Hunter has told Martin Bakole and his trainer slash manager, Billy Nelson, sign the contract. Sign it. Not only that, I'm going to stop you quicker than I did before. Now, of course, what Martin Bakole and Billy Nelson have been doing recently is telling everybody who would listen that nobody wants to fight Martin Bakole. They put out different offers to different various people, and everyone keeps turning them down, and from time to time they'll slip in the name of Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter is telling them, I ain't turning nothing down. Let's do it. September the 2nd, Smith Eubank 2, Manchester, let's do it. Sign the contract. Now, for those of you who didn't see the first fight with Michael Hunter and Martin Bakole, well, sorry, the first one, the only one, Michael Hunter took Martin Bakole to school. He outboxed him, he outdone him. Martin Bakole went back to his corner during the fight, told Billy Nelson, I want out of here, I want to quit, or words to that effect. They didn't. Michael Hunter ended up knocking out Martin Bakole. Okay? Now, if you're Martin Bakole and you claim to be one of the best heavyweights around, where you beat everybody, and the only person who even troubles you is Tyson Fury, according to Billy Nelson, then you should be looking at that rematch and correcting that wrong. It won't be about money, it's about revenge. So when I'm hearing things like Martin Bakole took 100 grand off his own country in Congo on the promise that he was going into camp to fight Michael Hunter for a rematch, this was some odd months ago, and quite why he needs 100 grand to go into a camp, I have no idea, then surely you go and fight Michael Hunter. Now, bearing in mind, Martin Bakole is getting a very good wage at boxer as well, apparently, according to Billy Nelson, which is why Boxing and Sky Sports are struggling to get Martin Bakole opponent because of the budget, because they're paying Martin Bakole so much money, they can't afford to pay for quality opponents. Which makes me wonder, then why the hell did you sign Martin Bakole if you can't afford to be paying his opponents? Which is why they're looking at low-hanging fruit like a Robert Helenius. He wants a full camp to fight a Robert Helenius. He wants a full camp to fight a Carlos Takam, and other names in that were mentioned as well. So, if I'm Martin Bakole, I want that rematch with Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter, let's be honest, he hasn't fought in, 18 months, coming up 2 years. So now's probably the best time to get him while he's inactive. Don't wait for him to have a comeback fight or two, because that way he's active and he's fresh and he's ready to go. You get him now. So why wouldn't you do it? If necessary, out of the 100 grand that you took from your people of Congo, plus the wages that you're getting, if necessary, contribute some of that towards Michael Hunter's purse, because you want revenge. Right? That's what you do. Now, we'll come back onto Michael Hunter in a minute. Now, I heard some odd weeks ago that a fight looked pretty close between Martin Bakole and Murat Gassiev. And yet in the last 24 hours, I'm seeing that Murat Gassiev is now going to be taking on Otto Wallin in Turkey. So why has that fight not happened? That's a very interesting fight. Again, I'm hearing that it was Martin Bakole didn't want that fight. So what kind of fight do you want? Who do you want to fight? Outside of the names that already have fights, like the usual Dan Dubois, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, whatever. Alexander Usyk. What about people who currently don't have fights? Murat Gassiev. What happened to that? It was all done, wasn't it? What about Arsenbek Makhmudov, undefeated, ranked highly in a couple of sanctioning bodies? That's a good fight. Top Rank have a very, very good, strong relationship with Sky Sports. Surely a compromise can be made somewhere along the lines as far as wages are concerned. ESPN, Top Rank, can contribute towards his wages or something. It's a good fight. Both guys would deserve credit for getting that fight on. They would. And if Martin Bakole beats him, kudos. Because Makhmudov looks like a goddamn problem for everyone. But anyway, get back onto Michael Hunter. You need that rematch. As in Martin Bakole needs that rematch. Michael Hunter don't need Martin Bakole. He's already fought him. He's already beat him. Michael Hunter doesn't need Martin Bakole. Martin Bakole needs Michael Hunter. He does. He needs to revenge that loss. Because that will hang over him until the end of days if he don't. So get that fight on. Regardless of anything, get that fight on. Michael Hunter's willing to do it. According to Billy Nelson, Martin Bakole is willing to fight anybody, any place, any time, anywhere. Well, we'll get cracking then. Get to it. Get to it. You got a fighter there. Because it does appear, though, from the outside looking in, it appears that Martin Bakole wants to mention a whole bunch of fighters' names who are otherwise engaged in other fights. But yet, people who mention Martin Bakole's name, like a Michael Hunter and a Filip Herkovich, and a couple of others, Martin Bakole don't want to know. I mean, that Filip Herkovich fight should have been pretty straightforward, right? Because that's IBF mandatory. You beat Filip Herkovich, you're IBF mandatory. But for some reason, you didn't want to do it. So stop trying to go around picking the low-hanging fruit, trying to get a Carlos Takam or a Robert Helenius and all these other kind of fighters. Again, at least Anthony Joshua was fighting Robert Helenius with 4 days' notice. Michael Hunter wanted a full camp for that fight. And they're the kind of fighters that they're looking at. What a waste of money. Ben Shalom, Boxer Sky Sports, must go, damn, we really dropped the ball with this one. Anyway, get Michael Hunter on. Get that fight on. No excuses. If you have to contribute some of it out of the money that you took from Congo on the promise that you're rematching him, then pay Michael Hunter out of that money then if necessary. Contribute toward it. Because you owe them that fight. Because you told them that's the fight you were going to have, correct? So get cracking. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.